Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Morning Heart Devotion. To start off, let's offer a greeting, a bow to our heavenly parents and true parents. 존지인 shamumo님께 경배, 바로. And now to lead us through the family pledge, I'd like to invite up Reverend Milhan Stevens.
사랑맹세 1. 천여극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 번향 땅을 찾아 번연의 창조의 상인 지상천국과 천상천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천여극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천여극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천여극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조의 상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천여극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 번연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 신정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천여극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천여극 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Our turn to give back and to show, and to be your true sons and daughters so that you can be proud of us and so the world can have hope through us. We are the last hope, really. We are the last hope here in America and in the world. And we are really committed, Heavenly Parent, every day to give it our utmost, to change ourselves, to love more, to forgive more, to be better and better every day, to be the best self we can be for you and for true parents. Please speak through Dr. Young again this morning, and we open our hearts deeply and internalize the message and practice it every day so we really become the persons we need to be. Thank you so much for this opportunity. We love you so much. We embrace you. We want to kiss you, Heavenly Parent, this morning and dry your tears. We offer this prayer together in the name of Bob and Angelica Sally of the Central Family and all the Central families. Aju.
Aju, thank you, Angelica. Long time no see. Yeah, I really interested in your prayer. Kiss Heavenly Parents. Let's kiss to our true parents. Wow, beautiful prayer. 감사합니다, Angelica.
Yeah, thank you very much for such a beautiful prayer, President Angelica. All right, brothers and sisters, we're going to go into our gratitude sharing this morning. We're going to spend the next 7 minutes sharing anything you're grateful for today, this morning. If you're by yourself, take this moment to reflect on what you're.
I knew it would be called on. I just knew.
We'll see you all in a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful breakout sharing. I know I did. We had a wonderful discussion, Uncle Francis and Arlene. So I'd like to just first call on Uncle Francis, if you could just unmute yourself and share with us what you're grateful for this morning. I will help you. There you go.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, I was sharing with Res Fred. Just to see Res Fred already, I felt so happy. It's, we are now in the middle of the kickoff workshop, and I was sharing my gratitude, especially for the young staff on the GPA, how much they really, the senior staff are really more mentoring, but to see how much they're investing in this workshop it's an amazing thing to see. So I'm so grateful for that, and to see, and I was sharing also because, we are giving life. So I, inside myself right now, is really like I feel something, how to really win over inside, internally, but I have to be win first internally. So, through prayer, it's best place with yes, pray and really spend some time. And also I realize also one thing, gratitude is really the foundation to live with God. And then sometimes it's not easy, but if we really found just one point of gratitude and really dwell on that, I realize, wow, it's amazing. So I'm so grateful to even find one point I can be grateful in my life, so God can really live in me, because God always will, even within me, if I'm not right, always God finds something in me he can stand and say, yeah, this is my son. And so I'm very grateful for that. And thank you, Res Fred. I love you. Thank you.
Love you, Uncle Francis. Thank you.
Francis, 감사합니다.
Thank you, Uncle Francis. Reverend Tili, if you could please unmute yourself and share with us whatever Milhan heard and would like you to share. Give me 1 second. There you go.
Good morning, everyone.
From Canada.
Good morning, Dr. Young.
Good morning.
I'm so grateful that I was sharing about my high school classmates. We have not met since I left the country in the 76 actually. And during the beginning of the COVID, I asked a friend of mine in Australia to make a group, and we created a WhatsApp group. And we have now connected over 35 people as a group together to share. And I'm so grateful. And some of them are faces I cannot even remember, but we have come together. Some of them know that I joined the church. Some of them know I'm a missionary. And we really growing together as a group. And as Dr. Young said, not to think about teaching divine principle, but to develop a artistic relationship. And we are really going into very, very deeper sharing each other. Some of them are losing their spouses, so we comfort each other. And really, before going to spirit world, we could meet all together. And last week, one of my friend, 41 years ago in London, we worked together. He joined. So people meeting after 41, 50 years is an amazing feeling. God gave this opportunity to meet together. I'm so grateful that Dr. Young keep our heart so warm and so energetic to reach out and loving and caring for our fellow human being. Thank you for all the brothers and sisters for this beautiful morning.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Tillai. I really miss you. Whenever I see you, I remember, Chiba Training Center in Japan. We are living together. I had such a beautiful memory. I hope someday I can see you very soon. Thank you so much, Reverend Tillai, your sharing. 감사합니다. And also my dear brothers and sisters, today is the someone's birthday. Someone's birthday, I think maybe 82 years old. Today, our Dr. Dust's birthday, 82 birthday. So anyone know him? Please greet to him. I met him in San Francisco. It was a really great time with Dr. Dust and his wife. Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday to Dr. Durst, and thank you very much for sharing, Reverend Ratnasapapati Tilarajan. Thank you for sharing. All right, brothers and sisters, we are tuning in live from Boston. That's right, we're live from Boston, all around the sub-region. And I'd like to invite up at this time the main message for today, Dr. Chon Shik Young.
안녕하세요. Good morning. Good morning. My dear brothers and sisters, clergy and ambassador for peace. 안녕하십니까? Finally, I came to Boston. Thank you for your prayer and 청성. Yesterday, I had a breakfast meeting with the key leaders in Connecticut church. And then we had a meeting with the church members of the Connecticut church. I shared with them the importance of the responsibility and the quality of love. And we also installation ceremony of Assistant Pastor Yuji Torikai, and our President Naokimi gave a beautiful presentation regarding 2021 goal, especially coming event of the December. Yeah, beautiful. Everybody really pay attention and group discussion together. How we can reach our goal. This was a group photo together, our Mika and the local leadership together. Then we drove to, Providence, Rhode Island, and pray at the Holy Ground with Reverend Mark Baldwin, Rhode Island state leader, and then Providence church members. And we had a short meeting with the church members at the church center. Then we drove to Boston and arrived at the Boston church last night. Today, I'd like to talk again about an enemy becomes a friend from True Mother's memoir book. So I'd like to invite Heavenly Honey to read.
As the plane passed over Pyongyang province, where both my husband and I were born, we looked down on the Changchun River, in which we both had played as children. I felt as if I could reach down and touch its blue ripples. Had that river been flowing peacefully during the sorrowful 4+ decades since our territory was recklessly torn apart? The chill of the cold winter wind we felt as we disembarked at Pyongyang Sanan Airport dissipated as we received the embraces of my husband's relatives. Of course, they were all grandmothers and grandfathers. They grabbed hold of our hands and wept. A waterfall of tears surged in my heart, and I'm sure my husband's as well, but I bit my lip and held them back. We had committed ourselves to this venture for the sake of Heavenly Parent and the world, not for the personal happiness of our relatives or ourselves. We settled in at the Peony Guest Hall, and the next day, in accord with our lifelong tradition, we arose early in the morning and prayed. If there were surveillance cameras in our room, all those prayers crying out for the unification of the Korean Peninsula were recorded. That day and the next, we were given a tour of Pyongyang. Our meeting with a group of major North Korean government leaders at the Mansudae Assembly Hall on the third day of our stay has become a legend in North Korea. My husband and I knew that to speak for God and against the government's Juche ideology in North Korea could be grounds for execution. But we were resolved to risk death for the sake of peace and unification. Let it go on record. Standing in the heart of North Korea, Father Moon denounced Juche thought and the Juche kingdom. He said loudly and clearly, the unification of North and South Korea cannot come based on Chairman Kim Il-sung's Juche thought. North and South Korea can be unified peacefully, and Korea can become the nation that can lead the whole world only through the God-centered ideology and head-wing thought of unificationism. Furthermore, he refuted their propagandist posture that the Korean War started with the South invading the North.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. So the Father openly criticized the Juche thought in North Korea, the heart of the Juche kingdom. It is really amazing. The unification of North and South Korea cannot come based on Chairman Kim Il-sung's Juche thought. North and South Korea can be unified peacefully, and Korea can become the nation that can lead the whole world only through the God-centered ideology, which is Godism, and head-wing thought of unificationism. This is a really amazing declaration. From South Korea, many Christian leaders actually they visited North Korea and met Kim Il-sung, and nobody talk about communism is wrong. Nobody talk about the Juche theology is wrong. Nobody talk about. But Father boldly proclaimed, Juche thought is wrong. You cannot unify the North and South Korea centering on Juche thought. Only centering on God-centered ideology, which is Godism. This is a really incredible declaration. Actually, Father declared at risk of his life. I think nobody challenged this kind of the sharing in front of the communist leaders. And true Father refuted their propagandist and posture that the Korean War started with the South invading the North. When they get together with the Father at that time, they are talking about South Korea invaded North Korea. Father stood up. No, North Korea, you are the one who invaded South Korea. Wow, Father is really a righteous man. Here, what we inherit from true fathers is that he never compromises with evil. Even in an environment where death is inevitable at any time under the dictatorship like North Korea, true father spoke out without any hesitation that communism was wrong, and that the unification of the two Koreas is only possible through Godism. This was a really surprising event. Wow. Really, how much heavenly parents proud of the Father. Really, really. That's why he never compromised with the evil. And then just go forward. Therefore, Father, true parents in life really need to go on through all kind of the suffering and difficulties. If a true father avoid that kind of a challenge and then compromising something, father could not pay the entire indemnity. 6,000 years indemnity cannot pay. That's why father need to go through more than 6 times prison's life, all kind of the hardest and difficulties. We really need to appreciate our true parents, such a kind of the contribution, such a kind of the dedication, to pay the indemnity, to realize God's kingdom of heaven on earth. Okay, Heavenly Honey, please read.
The North Koreans were taken entirely by surprise. Their security personnel were anticipating the signal to rush in with guns drawn. Even though they, to some degree, knew what Father Moon was planning to say, our members accompanying us broke out in a cold sweat. I had toured the whole world with my husband, and we had met the leaders of many nations, but nowhere did we have to maintain courageous determination and serious resolve comparable to that day in Pyongyang. On the 6th day, Chairman Kim sent 2 helicopters to transport us to Cheongju, Father Moon's hometown. As Chairman Kim had instructed, highway crews had newly paved the little road to my husband's boyhood home, set up dignified tombstones, and planted turf at the graves of his parents. They even had painted and decorated the house where Father Moon was born and spread sand on the earthen floor and yard. We visited his parents' tombs and offered flowers. I gazed at the sky in the direction of Anju, my hometown, 18 miles away. Is the old house that embraced me so snugly still standing there? Is corn growing in the backyard field these days? Where is my maternal grandfather's grave? I was curious about everything, but I held it inside.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. Then let's take a look at true father's word when true parents met Kim Il-sung. Heavenly Honey again, please.
Ideology and philosophies are not important in the meeting of 2 people. As I approached the official residence, I found President Kim at the entrance waiting to greet me. The 2 of us simultaneously embraced each other. I was an anti-communist, and he was the leader of a communist party. But ideology and philosophies were not important in the context of our meeting. We were like brothers who were meeting for the first time after a long separation. This was the power of belonging to the same people and sharing the same blood. Right at the onset, I said to him, Mr. President, because of your warm consideration, I have been able to meet my family. There are, however, 10 million Koreans who are members of families separated between North and South, and they are unable to even know whether their relatives on the other side are alive or dead. I would like to ask you to grant them the opportunity to meet each other.
Thank you. The meeting of the true father and Kim Il-sung was a historical meeting of reconciliation between Cain and Abel, like Jacob and Esau. It was the point of reconciliation between Cain and Abel that will remain forever in God's 6,000 years history. In the end, Satan's surrender could not be done through the force of arms, but it had to be natural surrender through true love and principle. Continue.
How will North-South reunification come about? The issue of reunification is serious. Who's going to have to do that mission? When the South goes to the North or the North to the South and says, let's do it our way, unification will not come about. If both sides insist on their own position, it is certain that the situation will again result in hostilities. What can be done about this? There must be South Koreans who love North Korea with a love greater than any South Koreans have for South Korea. Also, there must be North Koreans who love South Korea with a greater love than any North Korean has for North Korea. There is no alternative, no solution other than this. Can there be another way? No matter how hard you may think about it, you will find no other way.
Amazing, really, true parents' principle. How will North and South reunification come about? There must be South Koreans who love North Korea with a love greater than any South Korean has for South Korea. Also, there must be North Koreans who love South Korea with a greater love than any North Korean has for North Korea. There is no alternative, no solution other than this. Wow. In the end, it is said that the unification of two Koreas can only be achieved through love. Who win at the end? Who love more? What does true love means? Giving and giving and giving and giving. Who, as a South Korean people, Father suggests, just give and help North Korea. Unconditionally giving and giving and giving. Of course, they misuse funds sometimes, but God knows which one have greater love, unconditionally giving. That's why Father built automobile company in North Korea and help them, and build hotel, and then our true parents invested so much for North Korea unconditionally. That's why North Korean, the leadership, still trust our true parents, because no one can win who really giving unconditionally. That's why how to win the enemy at the end? By true love. How Jacob win? Esau offered all entire his belonging and giving everything offer for Esau. And Esau totally melted by Jacob through giving her, through loving her. That kind of mindset, only we can win over our enemy. We can learn from our true parents such a really incredible strategy and principle how to win our enemy. Today's Father's Word, the way to revive yourself. Heavenly Honey, please.
the way to revive yourself. You can feel and realize God's heart when you experience hardship. When I think about how painful God's heart must be for having to drive someone like me who is in prison out again, I cannot stop the tears from falling due to God's wretched state. This is when I feel God's heart. This is when I am revived again. There is no way for you to revive yourself. Thus, you have to be revived through God. Cling onto the core of God and experience by yourself how to have an explosive, heart-moving experience. I have cried in order to witness to new people, and I have prayed to God for the sake of the starving people and pitiful people while in prison. These kind of circumstances are yet to be resolved, which is why when I call out Father, as I embrace the world, I explode into tears. Have you ever deeply experienced God's heart in such a way?
Wow. So the Father said, you can feel and realize God's heart when you experience a hardship. When you enter the portion of the suffering, you enter the place where anyone can experience God's heart. Because God is a God of the suffering. So without experience of suffering, how can we understand God's suffering? That's why love is experience. Without becoming father and mother, never know what's the heart of the parents. Without marriage, how you understand conjugal's heart? Cannot understand. You know, without parents, how do you understand what's the parental heart? Love is experience. In order to understand God's suffering, we need to go to the front line. Therefore, the way to revive yourself when your spirit sinks is to first go to the front line and stand where you suffer more than anyone else. And then think of the suffering of those around you as the suffering of God. Yesterday, I visited to the Rhode Island, one of the smallest state. You see our, what's that, Mark. Reverend Mark, and then small members there, and then they are still doing outreach, this and that. I really appreciate that. But another way, wow, to lay such a even small foundation, how much our Heavenly Father gone through incredible suffering and sacrifice. To lay small foundation, waited for 6,000 years. And I promise to God, Heavenly Parents, no matter what, I want to expand your foundation based on our members' 정성 and heart and contribution. I really want to raise up young people over there. I want to really set up our COP chapter over there. I could not control I don't want to show my tears in front of people. My brothers and sisters, can you imagine what is our foundation? What is the God's foundation? So little and so small. How can we expand God's foundation? Yesterday, I think about that. And also, the way to revive yourself, Father, here talking about, the second is to always be grateful and comfort God. Even when you fall to the very bottom, then you can be revived again. Again, I'm talking about appreciation. Appreciation. Do not expect, something from heaven, even from true parent, from spiritual world, from anyone else. No expectation. And then start from the zero every morning. Wow. God give me air. Start from zero. God give me air. Wow. Thank you. Start from zero. Wow, someone brought me. Someone cooked for me breakfast. Wow. I am so grateful. Oh, our Mr. Sir, help me. Wow, I'm so grateful. Oh, I have 2 legs. I can walk. Wow, I'm so grateful. Start from nothing. Then you need to think that Heavenly Father providing to me one by one everything. Then we can be grateful all the time. This is the one of the way revive myself. Always appreciate rather than complain, rather than just take it for granted. Those who know appreciation always take it for granted. Yeah, my father and mother, need to love me. My wife need to cook for me. My staff need to do something. You receive salary, you need to do something for me. Everything, take it for granted. Then your spiritual life is dead. Should be grateful all the time. Should be grateful all the time. This is the way I can revive all the time. Third, in your living sphere, always serve others. Think of them as object of witnessing. Shed blood and sweat and tears to save them. Father said, without witnessing, without the spirit of the salvation, it is impossible to experience God's heart and revive the spirit. In an environment where you are unable to suffer, even you want to do, the way to experience the heart of God is the life of serving and the life of salvation, which is witnessing. When you focus on salvation, when you focus on witnessing, Father said, this is the best way you can revive. You can gain spirit. Because God's greatest concern is what? Salvation. How do you explode in moving such a heart? Through Father cry so much to witness to a new person. How much do I cry to save people? And then God's concern from 1 to 10, everything. He's only one concept. Heavenly Father has only one concept. That is salvation. How to save my children. Day and night thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking how to save my children. That's why if I have the same concept, same mindset, same wish with God, centering on salvation, which is witnessing, this is the best way to inherit God's heart. If you do not witness, just only listening morning devotion, just only listening someone's Sunday service, just only reading the fundoke, and then never go out and witnessing, does not make any sense. There is no way to inherit God's heart without focusing salvation. There is no way to revive yourself without focusing salvation. Very important point about that. In order to understand God's heart, even though we don't have time to have suffer compared to the last time. No more persecution, no more suffering. Nobody worry about the because of food. Under this kind of the wonderful environment, external environment, how to experience God's heart? You need to focus on salvation. You need to love somebody around you. My job is start to love my staff, my Abel, my Cain, anyone I relate to every day. They are the target of the salvation. Today's youth ministry, what does living sacrifice means? Living sacrifice. I'm talking about living sacrifice. What does a living sacrifice means? A living sacrifice means a sacrifice of the heart. In order to become a sacrifice of the heart, it means that you must establish the foundation of substance of give and take with your able figure. Very important point. What does a living sacrifice means? You need to make the foundation to give and take with your able. Again, I want to explain more detail. A holy living sacrifice is a sacrifice of the heart. The words, I am alive or I am dead, are based on the standard of my heart. Those who live reluctantly are already dead in heart. Those who are living sacrifice always have a heart. What kind of the heart? Longing heart. Longing heart. Parents' heart is why is always alive? Because they have a longing heart for their children. Why their children's heart is alive? Because always longing heart for their parents. That's why those who are alive, artistically, always have longing heart, very thirsty to looking for somebody. I miss somebody. I have a long for somebody. A person who lives while longing is one who lives in heart. They go to church because they long for the members, not because of the duty. How can you know I am alive or I am dead? Check. Do you have a longing heart? Do you have a longing heart with your able? You don't. Then you cannot build up foundation of substance, Putin, Cain, and Abel. Longing heart. Are you alive? The relationship between husband and wife. If you have a longing heart for your spouse, then you are a living sacrifice. You are a really true husband. As a husband doesn't have a longing heart for wife. As a wife, you don't have a longing heart for your husband. This couple already dead. Just only living together. Habitually. Habitually. No heart is alive. That's why Father saying you have to be a living sacrifice. Living, not dead sacrifice. Living sacrifice means your heart should be alive. Those who go to church because they have no choice, those who go only because it is their church, and those who go because it is a duty of a believer, those people are already dead. Anything you do by habit, by duty, just only by external about the responsibility, then your spiritual life already dead. Living people are those who are come to church because they long for. They are the ones that comes with a longing heart. Living sacrifice are people who act out of their heart. A living person always volunteers and lives voluntarily. People who force themselves to attend with the sense of the responsibility are people whose spirit are dried out. As long as it becomes a living sacrifice, God can walk through the sacrifice. How much do you long for, true mother? How much do you long for, true father? How much do you long, heavenly parents? How much do you have longing heart for your witnessing candidate? Important. One of the greatest attributes of the heart is longing. Longing. You have longing heart, and then God giving you wisdom, everything. If you have longing heart for your guest, and God tell you how to take care of them, God tell you how to make happy for them. When parents have that kind of heart, longing heart for children, parents knows that. What do they need? How can I help them? What kind of food do they like? When we have longing heart, God always give us wisdom, inspiration, how to make that person happy. To know whether my spirit is alive or not, or dead, check whether there is a witnessing spirit to save people in my heart. A living person is a person who has a longing to save a person's soul all the time. If we truly inherit God's heart, if we truly inherit true parents' heart, and then same concern, same worry, same wishes, same as God and true parents, always longing for people, how to witness them, how to save them. This is the point, my dear brothers and sisters. That's why, to revive myself was the best solution. Go out. Get out. And go to church, Christian church, meet the people. My dear brothers and sisters, I think our president now will explain very soon. Now, Mother is coming soon. before December, beginning of December, this time. And I really encourage our dear brothers and sisters, without exception, each one of the members try to break through 3 families. You need to really give a blessing. And the people through mother coming, 3 couples, at least they drink holy wine, and then 40-day separation, and then 30-day ceremony. So let's prepare beautiful gift for our true mother. This is our national goal this time. Canada, and then our America, all brothers and sisters, with a longing heart, prepare the beautiful gift for true mother. So now already we start to have the mobilization and then focus on that. Not just only giving the holy wine, let them go through the process of the blessing, 40-day separation, 30-day ceremony, and after that follow up. And also not only focus on the previously married couple, even young people. And then we are really creating this time many watching party. And then our blessing become our culture. Our blessing become our society culture. The blessing become our national culture. Blessing is salvation. Let's save our nation through the blessing. Not just only drinking holy wine, not just only 40 days separation, 3-day ceremony. Take care of them. And then let's create longing heart relationship with my guests. And then that is the way to build kingdom of heaven. Start from 3 couples. Start from 3 people. Let's create that kind of the inseparable relationship. Then we are truly become living sacrifice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Young, for today's message. It's a new perspective, right? A living sacrifice. I just really appreciate your insight on way to revive ourselves and insight into how we can be an offering to offer to Mother when she comes here in December. All right, brothers and sisters, let us spend the next 7 minutes in reflection. So please take this moment to share your insights on what you gained from today's morning devotion. If you're by yourself, take this moment to reflect on what you gained from today's morning devotion. We'll see you all in a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful sharing. I see Wanjin with the nice hat, not Wanjin Hanmi. But I'd just like to call on at this time Marcus Von Yu. If you could please share with us your reflection from today's morning devotion. Let me try to unmute you.
I'm unmuted. Good morning, everyone. I was worried to be with Fred, that I get to put on the spot here. I'm very grateful for Dr. Young's message this morning. I think revival always, I experience my personal revival always through witnessing and through taking care of guests and teaching the principle. And so having that kind of longing heart, the heart of salvation. So I'm grateful to be reminded on that, to be able to revive my spirit on the front line of witnessing. I'm currently taking care of some guests or new members are coming to our church, and I really feel so alive through that, to taking care of them and really their spiritual life. So that's my key point. And
yes, thank you. Thank you so much for your service project all the time. And you are working together with your daughter. I was grateful when I met in San Francisco. 감사합니다. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Mark, host, for tuning in at 3 a.m. Jansung towards morning devotion. Next, I'd like to call on Ellie and Nicole Liking. Please correct me if I'm pronouncing wrong. Ellie and Nicole Liking to share with us their reflection from today's morning devotion.
Yeah, it's Liking.
Liking.
Ellie 사바타니. Share, please.
Good morning. Yeah. This morning, Dr. Young was saying by living sacrifice. I was saying that we are living sacrifice. So we have to have that. We have first to be humble ourselves. That longing heart, we represent two parents wherever we go. So living for the sake of others is the key. To have that living for the sake of others, first of all, we have to deny ourselves, to humble ourselves. And longing heart, it means that humble yourself, living for sake of others, represent God wherever we go. So that's what was my taking away today. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go to Ellie.
Yeah, my takeaway was really, first of all, true parents visit in North Korea, that which was considered like an enemy, Kim Il-sung. I think that true father showed to the world his boldness and his willingness to lay his life down to die for the sake of God, because knowing that reunification of North and South Korea is a key to reunification of the whole world. So he took a risk of his life and go to the headquarters of communism and declared that the Dushi ideology was wrong and that it cannot bring unification on the Godism. And the second point is really being a living sacrifice. How can I define myself if I am alive or I am dead? It's based on the standard of my heart. And whether I'm really willing to live for the sake of others and really willing to save people's life, that's how I show that I am dead. But if I'm just listening to morning devotion and praying and reading and doing nothing, is like the prayer without action is meaningless. So what we receive here is to go out, witness to people, and bring life to people.
Wow. Ellie, you are very, very good. Excellent student. You are excellent student. Wow, I'm so inspired by your sharing. 감사합니다. Ellie and Nicole.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Uncle Elia. Very beautiful sharing. And yeah, I learned so much. So, like, Ellie is just recapping all of what Dr. Young is saying and in our breakout is just really great. Thank you. All right, brothers and sisters, yeah, you know what's coming. It's announcement time. And if you're feeling inspired, please continue to invite people to join in on the morning devotion experience. This is not something that's just for us. It's something for a whole America. It's our Johnson condition towards liberation of all of America, total salvation, total mobilization and total investment. And so if you're watching from Facebook or YouTube, and you'd like to join, because I've been hearing this several times, people not knowing how to join the Zoom room, just go to edu.familyfed.org. edu.familyfed.org. If you're watching that, the link is right below me, and you should just scroll to the bottom. The link's right there. Just save it at somewhere where it's easy to access. edu.familyfed.org. That's the morning devotion website. And also, if you're feeling especially inspired, a link will be put in the chat for you to be able to donate. If you go to edu.familyfed.org as well, you can go there and donate as well. The link is right at the top. It should be very visible. Donate to support Morning Devotion Ministries. And now on to our musical offering. When I saw the name, I knew that he's most likely currently probably at Central Park, New York. He's always at the Central Park, New York ground when he gives an offering at the Holy Ground there. So without further ado, I'd like to invite up Reverend Desmond Green. Reverend Green. Hey there, Reverend Green.
Good morning.
Hi. Yeah, Reverend Green, you are with Green now together.
Hey, 감사합니다. Thank you so much, Dr. Young, for your beautiful sharing this morning. Every word that you uttered, I was reflecting on each word and say, am I living, according to the standard of heavenly parent and true parents? So this morning, I love to share a song that I learned when I came to the Unification Church. And it goes like this. Searching for meaning, we felt so alone, trying to get by on our own, knowing that the answer doesn't lie in what it seems, but still hanging on to a dream. We found each other, hopes were just the same. Best of friends we became. Your dream is our dream, together we will be, walking in love eternally. One by one we'll build a world where children can run free. Day by day, we'll pave the way for one big family. Everyone smiling, happiness abound, singing of this love we have found. Father, we are grateful for this precious gift we share. We spread your love everywhere, and one by one we'll build a world where children can run free. Day by day we'll pave the way for one big family. One by one we'll build a world where children can run free. Day by day we'll pave the way for one big family. Thank you.
Wow, day by day. Wow, thank you so much, Reverend Green. Yo, beautiful. 감사합니다. Beautiful your contribution.
Yeah, thank you so much, Reverend Green. That was very, very beautiful, very soothing. I know Joshua said in the chat, it could be a lullaby. And maybe you sang your children to sleep with that song. That was very, very beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I was right. You're on the holy ground, right?
That's right.
That's your spot, Reverend Green. All right, everyone. Now let's go on to our closing prayer. And to close out in prayer, I'd like to invite Nakita Portlands, if you please unmute and close out in prayer.
Hi, thank you. Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank God for this day as we all gather here today just to really create that longing heart for you and to have that longing heart for our parents, our true parents, to be there and support our true mother and to really work on ourselves, really stretch ourselves to really grow. You know, today Dr. Young was really talking about really creating that foundation and to keep sacrificing and working in the front line so we can pull God into our heart so we can receive the blessing. And so as we go out through the day, we can really work on loving the people, loving our brothers and sisters, and really stretching our hearts so we can become more. So thank you so much. And thank you again for being with my sister, Shizuka Paling, as she just had a baby girl last night. Thank you so much for the wonderful gift of life and that both were healthy. It was smooth. Thank you again for growing our family more and more. And I report this in the name of Nikita, Mark Patton, blessed couple, Aju.
아주 thank you very much. Nakita family, Chris and David. Wow, 감사합니다. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then also our Dr. Thirst's 82 birthday. Let's congratulate him. Thank you. Congratulations. Let's give a big hand to him. Congratulations. Congratulatory.
You can sing a song for him, Dr. Young.
You can do that.
All right, let's go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, daughters. Happy birthday to you.
감사합니다.
All right, if you see him, make sure to wish him, I believe, an 82nd birthday. Wow,
Yeah.
82nd birthday. All right, everyone, this concludes our morning devotion for today. We'll be back tomorrow. But today, if you are in Boston, if you're in Massachusetts, Dr. Young is coming your way. Dr. Young and President Naokimi. So for everyone else, we'll see you bright and early tomorrow at 6 a.m. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you. 감사합니다. God bless you.